What is the best time to pitch your product or service? Well, that's a very good question. In fact, I would not have been here in the very first place if it was not for the opportunity to pitch my very first potential prospect. And the way that I interpreted pitch has kind of sales pitch or pitch has kind of evolved over the past few years. But when I got started, my view of pitch was like a speech that you give to a potential prospect to persuade them to buy something from you. That was my understanding. But over the years, over the past few years, the way that I define sales pitches kind of evolved, as I would say. So now the way that I look at sales pitch is an opportunity or a conversation that I have with my potential prospect to understand if they are in fact the right person to work with, or if they are the people who I choose to work with or not, before I even give them an opportunity to work with me. That is what I define sales pitch right now. And in fact, there are three steps I walk them through before I even give them an opportunity to work with me. So with that said, let's get started. Hey, welcome to the channel. It's all about marketing, mindset, and lead gen. Let's get started. So the very first step of the equation is to realize that it all starts before you jump on a call with the prospect. So in fact, whenever I have someone scheduling a call with me, there is going to be a 5-part video series that goes out. And it actually, the purpose of this 5-part video is for me to establish my credibility, to share some of the results that I was able to achieve for my potential clients, and for me to handle some of the objections before they jump on a call with me. And in fact, if you want to know what the 5-part video is all about, just get this book, Expert Secrets, one of the best books. And I'll share the link in the description. Get this book. There is something called Epiphany Bridge Script in this, and all you have to do is like create a video based on each step of the script, and that becomes your script. Okay, that becomes your 5-part video. So that is the very first thing, so that I can handle some of the objections right before the call. That is step one. So the second step of the equation is, for me, this is going to happen in the very first like 2 to 3 minutes of the conversation, and where I said how the conversation is going to go in this next 30 to 45 minutes. It is something called, you might have heard something called like agenda setting. So the way that I set agenda is, I'm going to give you a sample that you can actually use like from your next sales call. Okay. So the one thing that I do is like, this is one of my agendas. Okay. Yeah, I know that we are on the call to understand that how I can actually help you. In the process, I would be asking you a few questions to identify like how I can actually help you. And I know that you definitely have questions for me, and I would definitely answer them by the end of this call. And before we jump off the call, like in the next 30 to 45 minutes, we would see how we can actually help. And if we choose to move forward, we can have that conversation. If not, we can find someone who can actually help you. In fact, if I have someone in my circle, I'd be happy to refer you to someone who can actually help you with your specific challenges. Okay. So that is going to be happening in the next 30 to 45 minutes. This can be the agenda. Okay. And it doesn't have to be looking perfect. That's the beauty of it. The more you can tweak it to your personality. Again, as you listen to it, there are something that it's not perfect. There are something that I had to repeat. There are mums there, correct? It doesn't have to be perfect. You are not a robot, man. You're not a robot. So you're not a robot. So definitely don't perfect it. Like go ahead with the imperfections and have an agenda so that you can actually walk them through the flow, and you can actually ask them questions right beforehand so that you can actually understand what objections you would be having and solve them and give possible solutions to handle that objections. Okay, so that is step 2 of the equation. And let's move on to step 3. So step 3 of the equation, this is something that I actually learned from Sean Malone. So before I present them the opportunity of working with me, or before I give them the offer where they can actually go ahead and sign up, the one thing that I ask them is, do you have any questions for me? That's it. Do you have any questions for me? If they have any questions, that means that it is an objection. So all you have to do is like dig deep in this objection, dig deep what the question is, and ask them some of the questions to have more insights, handle that objection, come back and ask the same question like, do you have any questions for me? If not, let's move on to the next step, which is where you collect the cash. Cool. So these are the 3 steps of the equation before I even present the opportunity of working with me to my potential prospects. And that is the best time for you to pitch your product or service, or even a course, doesn't matter, whatever that is. Cool. So with that said, if you like what you have listened right now, hit the like and subscribe button to this video, to this channel, so that you can actually get notified whenever a video pops up. Cool. So that's it. Hey, the video is not done yet. I've got a gift for you. If you're wanting to position yourself as an authority in your marketplace and fill your pipeline with your potential prospects, then I would love for you to join the Fill the Pipeline Challenge. It's a 3-day live challenge. We would actually talk about some of the, in fact, 3 most important aspects that you need to be having in place before you start filling your pipeline with potential prospects. And all you have to do is like go to fillthepipelinechallenge.com and you would be all set to go. Cool. So with that said, catch you in the next video. Take care.